Hello, calculator.
Greetings and salutations, Mr. 411. It is friendly wager time, my friend.
Yes, sir. Calculator.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, good, good. Okay,
Yeah,
we had a
yeah.
slight delay there.
Wait,
Oh
wait,
man,
wait.
something exciting just happened in the NFL game
Uh,
tonight. I'm not going to say anything. I'm gonna leave it at that, calculator.
yeah, I got you.
This is the midnight special here, the late night friendly wager special, crossing the
Yes.
lines, November 17th, 2022. You thought that you was not going to get the calculator. You thought you was not going to get Mr. 401. Well, guess what? We are here for you.
We
And
made it
all
happen. If people only knew what we had to go through to get this through, we did it. And we're just gonna, leave it at that with with
yeah,
with with that thing. It's been a rough time, but hey, we got together and we're about to give people some info.
that's right. Hey, when the book comes out, calculator, it's gonna be a New York Times seller. I'll tell
That's
you that
right.
right now.
That's right. So,
Well, crossing the lines. Here we go.
oh yes, I got to get that intro to get the juices flowing for the calculator. That's what I like, Mister 411.
Yes, sir. All right. It is time for crossing the lines where we help you with your friendly wagers. We're going to cover NCAA and the NFL. Without further ado, calculator, the floor is
Absolutely.
yours.
Hey, I want to know. A friend of the show, Bo, wants to know. And
What's
the
up, Bo?
whole and every warehouse worker at the distribution center of Kohl's wants to know, what are the three things Mr. 411 believes in?
Well, Mr. 401 believes in the man upstairs, calculator. Mr. 401 still believes, and it's almost time. It is getting closer and closer each week to old Saint
That's
Nick.
right. Coming to town.
He's making a list,
Checking it twice.
checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice.
That's right.
And hopefully Mr. 401 has been nice. And Mr. 401 also believes, calculator, believe it or not, Mr. 401 believes in Dr. Sachs.
That's right, folks. And if you were unable to see the man, the myth, the legend in the flesh, he was on our last broadcast live in no location, winning people money at the casinos. Like I said, after we went off air, we were in the production studio, and all of a sudden we hear Mr. Sachs, people yelling because the picks he was given, they were working. So I said, Dr. Sachs, we got to keep it up. So I said, what is a Dr. Sachs special this week? And he said, calculator. He said, I know you went against the Air Force Falcons last week. And he said, I understand why. He said that it's Colorado State at Air Force Falcons. Yes. He said the Falcons, the Air Force Falcons, stand at 7-3, but they are very uneven up and down, right? They've managed to score 40 points on 4 occasions while being held under 15 points on the other 4 occasions. However, Air Force is still ranked number 1 in the nation rushing offense, rushing at a 334 yards per game clip, while the Rams of Colorado State ranked 79th in defense. Hey, on the flip side, the Colorado State Rams rushing offense is ranked 123rd. Folks,
Wow.
there's only 131 teams in the FBS. So that's close to the bottom, right? And Colorado State has yet to reach 20 points all year in any single game. Hey, if you've pulled the lever against Colorado State while they have been away from their home field advantage, you've done so with great success. Hey, pull the lever again, folks, and take the Air Force minus 22 points. Colorado State is one of the worst bottom 5 teams in FBS. So Air Force should be able to score often, and they're at home. I don't mind swallowing the 22 points. This has 4 touchdown winning total written all over it. So Dr. Sachs, he's your friend. He's getting the info, and he says, bet with the go with the triple option this week. Air Force minus 22.
Okay. We salute the Air Force for their service to our country and all that. So also take them with the 22.
That's right.
What's next, calculator?
Oh, and now we're going. Calculator has to give his picks. And yes, what do they say insanity is? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, guess what? The calculator's insane, because even though I went with the Bears and they lost me money last week, I'm going with them again. Now, hey, if TCU can get out of Waco with a win, I believe that will be the Horned Frogs' most impressive victory of the season. Yes, even more impressive than last week's victory against Texas, where they were 7 points underdog. But hey, this game screams Baylor. You may say, calculator. Did you see what Baylor did last week against Kansas State? I said, yeah, I saw they let their egg and they lost the calculator some money. He said, calculator. Did you see what TCU did to Texas? I said, yeah, calculator lost more money on that. But you know what? Of course, we know the Bears were embarrassed last week, but TCU, it was a physical game against Texas, and I think when they got this, they can feel it. They can taste the CFP playoff berth on the line. So pressure is real, Mr. 4-1, and it's getting more real for the Frogs right now. A 2-point loss to TCU just last year cost Baylor a CFP, so I have a feeling they're going to want to return the favor. I do not think they're going to allow 61% conversion rate like they did last week against Kansas State. I do not think they're going to commit the same 2 turnovers being at home. This is going to be a cleaner game for Baylor, and I think they have a straight-up win against TCU and will hand them their first loss of the year. On top of that, Baylor has covered 11 of 15 games as a home underdog, dating back to 2011, Mr. 4-1-1. Hey, it's big noon Saturday game, and the Baylors are at home. They're going to be pumped up. I'm telling you, Baylor wins straight up. So, hey, I'll take the points if you're going to give it to me. Give me Baylor plus 2.5.
All right. That's like having the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah. And I'm getting points. I take them even straight up. I like the spot Baylor is in.
Okay. All right. What's next, Cal?
Oh, you know what next? You know what's next, Mr. 4-1-1.
Do I?
Yeah.
Do I know?
Does the producer know?
I wonder if the producer knows. I mean, it's got to be something up.
There's got to be something a little special about this next line.
There's something going on in the kitchen, calculator.
That's right. Can you smell it, folks? The calculator smells it. It is smelly line time. You got your Yukon Huskies at the Army Black Knights, staying with the Service Academy theme. This must be a Service Academy theme, Mr. 4-1-1. Hey, but let me get this straight. You got a 3-6 team in the Army Knights. You have a 6-5 Yukon team, a bowl eligible Yukon team, might add you. But guess what? The 3-6 team is giving up 10 points to the 6-5 team. So yes, the 3-6 cadets. And guess what? The 3-6 cadets, they've only scored a total of 16 points in their last 2 games. Right? Army has only 1 win this year over an FBS team C4. But you know what? The Yukon Huskies, they're still partying like it's 1999 with their being bowl eligible first time in forever. Right? So I think they won 2 straight games where they were more than a touchdown underdog. It stops right here. The Service Academy Army is going to put it to them. I'm telling you, don't worry about the 10-point spread. Army Knights cover comfortably, win by at least 2 touchdowns, and I only have to give the 2 point. Hey, Vegas, you ain't getting me with the smelly line this time. You ain't going to get me with the trends, because there is something going on. And like you said, it was in the kitchen. Calculator smelled it out. Hey, Army Knights minus 10.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Very good there, calculator. Let's keep this thing rolling, man. What's next?
Oh, yeah. Hey, got to go to the ACC. And, I said I was tired of Clemson losing me money, so I went against Clemson. And guess what? I said red hot. Louisville's hot. Clemson's not. And guess what? Clemson covered against Louisville. Another calculator miss. I tell you, they're killing me. But, hey, I think this is when Louisville turns it around and handedly beats a team that just hit rock bottom last week. NC State lost to Boston College straight up. I'm talking about cellar dweller Boston College. I'm talking about Boston College that's worse than Georgia Tech, Virginia, all those. Boston College is the worst team in the ACC, and NC State got beat by them straight up. Okay, on one side you have Louisville, 3-0 against the spread as a home favorite this season. And on the other side, you had NC State 0-3 against the spread on the road this season. Also, NC State has failed to cover 6 of the last 7 games and 1-5 against the spread in conference play this season, which is tied for your Hurricanes for the worst cover percentage in the ACC. Louisville can cover 4 points on the neutral field, but I get them at home. I have and again, NC State, I think they're mailing it in with that backup quarterback. The Cardinals make up to the calculator. I'll forgive all transgressions against me as long as you help the calculator out this week. Louisville covers the 4, wins by a nice touchdown. Take Louisville and give up the 4 points.
There it is. All right. Take the Cardinal. All right. Can't wait. I think there's another team that might be a Cardinal that we're going to talk about later. But right now, calculator, it is time again. If you saw the title of the show today, you saw the bag. There's a reason why you have opportunity to win the bag.
That's right.
Big win. Epic win.
Oh my gosh. The band is on the field, Mr. 411. Yes, it is Stanford Cardinals, California Bears. Yes, Stanford Cal. What could be better than a Cal team on a 6-game losing streak versus a Stanford team which has scored 15, 16, 13, 14, and 7 in the past 5 games? Cal ran a total of 9 yards last week at Oregon State.
Wow.
While Stanford just ran 22 yards at Utah. Hey, this isn't feeling like it's going to be one of those high-powered offensive games on either side when these teams meet Saturday in Berkeley. But I do feel Cal is better in the run game with Jaden Ott getting the bulk of the carries. Both these teams have combined for 9 straight losses. And, hey, it won't be the best played game in this rivalry game, in my opinion. But, hey, if you looked at both these teams, the one I see, Stanford is the one that looks like they've licked the envelope, mailed it in for the season. But hey, Cal, they show me some spunk sometimes every now and then. And that's and this is their rare chance that Cal has a chance to beat up on Stanford, because Stanford, the Cardinals, they've owned this rivalry lately. But hey, I'm not giving up the 7 points. I'm taking the better team. I'm only giving up less than that magic number 7. So take it now, because this could move to 7. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to take the Cal beating Stanford Cardinals. Again, band's on the field, my folks.
There it is. And what is Cal short for? Calculator.
That's right. Got to get the little short in there. I like that. Abbreviated for calculator. Do me right, Cal Bears. That's our jackpot, folks.
Yes, jackpot. We love those jackpots, calculator. Okay, let's stay in the same conference.
Oh, hey, and got to go to an 8:00 game. It's gonna be on TV so people can like and check. Hey, the look ahead effect in college football is real. Just ask our Baylor Bears that we just talked about earlier that laid an egg last week and they're looking ahead to TCU. Well, guess what? UCLA wasn't much talked about. Same boat. They were definitely, in my opinion, looking ahead at this USC matchup when they dropped their game to perennial Pac-12 doormat Arizona. However, UCLA is 4-1 against the spread, against a straight up loss since the start of last year. Yes, USC is going coming up with the chest poked out, 9-1 record. Everybody whispering saying this team can make it to the playoff, yet they will be playing a team that can match them point for point. Yes, many teams can come into the Rose Bowl with a nice record. Hey, let's look at Washington Huskies, look at Utah Utes, and guess what? They walked out with the L. USC is 1-6 against the spread when it's between -3, and +3 since the start of 2016. Well, guess what? Right in the sweet spot. USC's favored by 2.5. There is no better way to bounce back from an upset loss than a game against your rival, one that has garnered all the attention and spotlight over the 11 months as the Bruins hung 62 points on the Trojans just last year. Little known fact, I think USC losing their running back Travis Dye has gone unnoticed up to this point, but I think his season-ending injury is going to be a huge part in this game. This is UCLA Super Bowl, so I'm taking the home dog in a rivalry game, even if it's under 3 points. So, hey, I like UCLA winning the game straight up. But again, like the Baylor, you're going to give me the 2.5 points. The calculator will gladly take the 2.5 points with a smile and said, thank you very much. UCLA wins straight up against USC. And even if they don't, even if it's one of those close 1-2 point games, you have 2.5, a little cushion. UCLA +2.5 against the USC Trojans.
Yes, sir. It's just like cake. Having that ice cream. I mean, that icing on the cake right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, the pick and the points. Okay. And that's a big matchup this weekend. I know a lot of eyes will be on it because someone in that conference is trying to stay alive for the playoff. And so we'll see how the Pac, that conference work itself out,
Yeah.
Pac-12. But
That's
let's
right.
move to a conference that you're more familiar with, Calculator.
SEC, baby. Hey, let me tell you something. 14.5 worries the calculator. The calculator's all worried about a hook, but after I looked at it, not that worried. LSU definitely experienced their Bama hangover last week, and they struggle against an undermanned Arkansas team who was playing the game without their starting quarterback. But what I saw was a team playing at their absolutely worst and still beat a quality SEC team on the road. Even though they were out their quarterback, they still have great athletes on that Arkansas team. But hey, now they're back at home. Bad games out of the way. I see them absolutely coming out and putting the wood to UAB and reasserting themselves. Hey, UAB is 0-4 against the spread on the road this season. Heck, they've held to cover for their last 5 games. And LSU's money at home, 5-1 against the spread at home this season, which is the second best cover percentage in SEC. LSU jumps out to a big lead, and they just keep scoring points to get those little playoff eyes into the eyes of the playoff committee, right? I have no problems giving up that extra half point, 14.5. So, but hey, this one could climb up to 17 because this one has blowout written all over it. Kelly's going to have his squad focus, and I say lock it in now, even at 14.5, because again, could go to 17 rather quickly on game day. LSU swallowed 14.5 and wins comfortably against UAB.
Hit that like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share all our shows. This is why. Jump on it now. Why it's 14.5.
That's right. Because this one opened up at 13 and it's already climbing. If it passes that 14 magic number, it's probably not going to stop. So that's why we got to lock it in when we can.
All right. Let's get to the final collegiate matchup, Calculator.
Oh, yeah. And then, that was a brutal game last Friday night. Calculator tried to give you that Friday night special. Fresno State, man, they were laying double digits on the road against ULV. They had the cover. ULV's down by more than 2 touchdowns. All right, they were down 17 points. What does UNLV do with 10 seconds left? They kick a field goal. Field goal down 17 points, Mr. 411. Almost made me think something about the cut. Exactly. Hey, only in Vegas, Mr. 411. I've seen games in Vegas happen where lights go out at certain times in the game. And I'm not lying. Only in Vegas. So, yeah. Well, I'm going right back to the Road Dogs this week in Reno. Fresno State is averaging over 41 points per game in their last 4 games. And Nevada is giving up 30 points per game this season, including just 41 points last week. Remember, I talked about one of the worst states in Colorado State. Colorado State beat Nevada Wolfpack, so they're even worse than Colorado State. So, hey, this game's going to get ugly quick, and unless they got Guido coming down from Vegas to Reno, I like the 22.5. Hopefully the lights don't get turned out in this one. Take Fresno State minus 22.5.
Minus 22.5. Wow, that's a huge underdog there.
Yeah.
Man, 22.5. All right. You're all over it, calculator. No turn, no stone unturned there, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, it is almost time for us to get into the National Football League. We will go through that, but before that, calculator, we're going to take a brief, and I do mean brief, commercial break. Okay, and so
Okay.
we can gear up for the NFL. All right, everybody, sit back, relax. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Check out GG Events NYC. All the information is going. It's going to scroll across there below for just a minute. Uh, you can reach out to Janice at GG Events 718 at gmail.com. That's GG Events 718 at gmail.com. Look at how excellent those all the setup was, calculated, the balloons, the tables,
Yeah.
all that. So I know all those party events were definitely fun, and it was all because of the ambiance set by GG Events.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, well, calculator, we have a party now, and it's the NFL party. But before we can get, to the party, me and you can get there, right? And there's a game on right now, currently as we speak. That's not normally how we do this, but because of the late programming tonight, we're able to keep an eye on some of the game tonight. Right now, the Tennessee Titans are at the Green Bay Packers. I will not reveal the score calculator because I know you have to get back there and watch it yourself. But can we still help this gentleman right here, calculator? It's another week gone by.
I'm about to say, by the time he finds out where it's at, Mr. 4-1, season's going to be over.
I mean, I don't know what else to do for him. You know what I mean? Like he tried, he moved a couple wires around and it just didn't work. But he's at risk of missing the game. So we got to help this guy. Anybody out there that can help this gentleman, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna transition, calculator. It is now time.
Yeah.
We're gonna get all the matchups on the board.
I mean, so if the calculator has egg on his face, this will let people know I am not watching the game. I just returned from a night out on the town with the family, trying to support the fine arts in the area. But I did pick Tennessee to beat Green Bay in my picks show. I went with Tennessee just because they were 43% against the public. So I try to fade the public a little bit on two teams I think that are evenly matched. One team I think Green Bay could be overvalued because of their win. I mean, the spread was Green Bay was actually favored by 3, but Tennessee's one of those grind them out teams. They find ways to win, especially they're so much better with Tannehill at the helm. But I would take Tennessee in this game. On Sunday night, got to go with Baltimore. There's a reason they're 99% double-digit favorite. Mayfield starting. Baltimore is a better team. Baltimore is actually getting healthy, and I love that. So next one, Chicago. Got to go with Chicago. Got to think they're just, when you look at Chicago, again, a 50-50 spot, even though I think Chicago is, I think Atlanta will not be able to score like Detroit did earlier. Like when Atlanta gets down, they just can't come back. They're not built for it. They're almost like one of those service academies. They just like to run the ball. All right. I love Philadelphia. I mean, I think they bounce back. Indianapolis is a lot better with Matt Ryan. However, Philadelphia is going to be back. Although Philadelphia's coming a little beat up. Goddard's on the shelf. AJ Brown's a little banged up. Deontay Smith, now he was limited in practice. So for a team that came in relatively healthy last week, got a little beat up by the interdivision rival. So, but I still I think Jalen Hurts and that defense is enough to overcome Matt Ryan. New England, again, I think they're just better. Bill Belichick's the New England Patriots own the Jets. No need more analysis. I don't care what the Jets did against the Buffalo Bills. New England owns the Jets until I see otherwise. All right, Washington. I just think, again, they're a better team than Houston. Yes, Washington's not. I think Houston covers the game when we're looking at points spread, but straight up, Washington finds a way for Heineke to get them in a field, in a way to win. They have two-headed running back. Houston, what's the one weakness? Against the run. They're dead last in the league against the run. Washington showed that. Hey, if Washington can run against the Philadelphia Eagles, you know they're going to be able to run against Houston. So I love Washington against Houston. The reason I like New Orleans, yes, they are. Lattimore's out. I already Andy Dalton's starting. I already know that, but they're at home. They're against a team that's almost as beat up as they are. I mean, heck, Stafford has cleared. It was funny. They said, Stafford, when are you getting out of concussion protocol? Stafford said, I'm in concussion protocol. I didn't even know I had a concussion. Well, apparently, it's like, yeah, you're in a concussion. So, but yeah, he's been limited practice. He's out of he will be playing, but it don't matter because that offensive line is so beaten up. However, they're talking about Cam Jordan and they're talking about their whole D line is hurt, but I think they have enough at home. I think the home field advantage is going to get them enough that they should be able to win at home against the Rams. Buffalo, this game, folks, they're talking about one of those polar vortexes, 6 to 8 inches of snow and all that stuff. They were so talking about this snowstorm, they actually moved the game from Buffalo to Detroit. So this is my plea to NFL Northeast stadiums. Folks, if you build a stadium, put a roof on it. All right. That's all we're asking. We know the people like to play, but you just saw what happens if they're going to talk about blizzards. They don't want to put in danger the fans going into the game. So they move a home game to Detroit. But hey, don't matter. Buffalo's the better team, and Cleveland is not very good. They showed that last week. Cleveland's had 2 good games all year. They're not going to have it against Buffalo. Buffalo wins rather easily. Detroit, Detroit did us good last week. They were one of the few underdogs we picked that, hey, help the calculator hit. He faded Detroit when everybody was going with the hot Chicago team. I said Detroit could pull it up. Well, guess what? I'm going with them again. And you know what? 92% of the public is going on the Jets. I'm staying with those pesky lines. I'm staying with the team. New York Jets, Giants. They've gotten lucky on a lot of their games. I'm going to take that into account, and I'm going with those pesky lines, not to just cover, but I think to win straight up. Raiders, bad. Denver, bad. So we'll say Denver, bad. Raiders, worse. That's why I'm going with Denver, because they're at home. Dallas, this is another one for some reason. Minnesota, 74% of the public. Well, you know what? Kirk Cousins is terrible when he's pressured. What's the one thing Dallas can do? They can pressure the quarterback. As long as they don't play with that dang game plan. If you have one of the best rushers, Parsons, and you have him in coverage, you deserve to lose that game. They didn't pressure Brett Favre at all when they were up 28-14. So Mike McCarthy and that guy from Atlanta that is now the defensive coordinator, y'all deserve to lose that game. If you have the best pass rusher in the NFL, not blitzing the quarterback. That was terrible. They deserve to lose that game. They'll bounce back. They'll make the adjustments. They will pressure Kirk Cousins, and Dallas wins that game. Cincinnati, again, that's another one where I just think they're the better team. I mean, so it's like, TJ Watt's back. I think this is going to be a close game, but I think Cincinnati has enough in the tank to win that game. And then Kansas City, Sunday Night Football, love them against the Chargers. Kansas City, this is where their 3-headed monster will be unleashed, because the Chargers, their one defect is rushing are stopping the run, and Kansas City, hey, even Mahomes can do his, and Kansas City wins this. And I think they actually win kind of easily too. And San Francisco, again, Arizona still beat up, even if McCoy's starting, even if Murray's starting, it don't matter. It's in Mexico City, and San Francisco. I think San Francisco is one of the top 2 teams in the NFC, especially when they're healthy, and especially now that Elijah Mitchell's back and McCaffrey. So they're going to have a 2-headed monster at the running back position, and San Francisco wins, and I think they win comfortably.
All right, calculator. Great job with the NFL. And guess what? With your Philadelphia selection, my dad's happy with that.
Yes, sir.
He's all good with that, picking the Eagles. So, every time you pick the Eagles, my dad will pop in
Oh, yeah.
with the thumbs up.
That's what I like.
All right, man, calculator. We did it. And like you said, man, people just don't know what we went through to get this done. But it doesn't matter, as The Rock says, it doesn't matter. And we're here for everybody. I do want to personally say I do appreciate you, calculator, and all the obstacles you had to overcome for this show to be a success today. And all the other shows.
And all the people, you had obstacles too. Mr. 411 got like 3 jobs that he was juggling around, and we were going in and back, going back and forth. And I thank Mr. 411 for being very flexible with the calculator too. So because I like to give the people the good advice, and hopefully Mr. Sachs, he's adopted my saying that I'm a capitalist. I want everybody to make as much money as they can. So that's why we try to do what we can to help these folks out.
Absolutely. All right. Well, great job, calculator. Thank you. Everyone who tuned in, we thank you. Always go out there and check out the shows. They're on YouTube. You can go back and replay them, get all the information, get all the picks. Just one more thing before we get out of here, calculator. The Tennessee Green Bay game. What was your selection on that one? I just want to make sure we have that correct.
Oh, I miss. I think Tennessee's going to win. I did have Green Bay on our pre-production show. I actually switched it at the last moment because I was still getting wonky information that Tannehill could have missed the game. But when they removed his designation tab after that, I was unable to get back in touch with Mr. 41, and I apologize that. But yeah, even though I had Green Bay on the list, I did go with Tennessee at the last minute. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I hadn't seen any of the game. I get to go back, and right after I get off this show, I'll be able to go and watch the game.
Okay, so everybody, just pause for a minute, take another look, because we want to just make sure everything's documented properly.
Yes.
The producers, man, great job of getting that stuff updated.
Thank you, and I appreciate the producers working with me on that. It's been wonky going back and forth.
Right, but we got it done, calculator, and there it is. So Tennessee. So everybody, you can't say calculator didn't say Tennessee. It's right here.
Yep.
So the man's a fortune teller. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, so great job, calculator, with your selections. We're gonna let you get back into the cave and continue to crunch those numbers because we'll have more opportunities, I believe, that you're going to have out there for us with the friendly wagers. And by the way, there are games. There's a football game on literally every day until next year.
Football fans wouldn't want it any other way, Mr. 411.
That's it. All right, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna leave these selections up here, as you can see the thank yous across the bottom, and we'll have it up until the show is completely over. In case you want to take a picture there and make sure that you make all these same selections that the calculator did for this upcoming week in the NFL. For the calculator, I am Mr. 411. We thank you all for watching, listening, hitting the like, subscribe, the notification button, and sharing. Because sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, my friends.
All right. We're gone. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.